Welcome back, friends. After a week break, welcome back onto the Thinking and Destiny at another session of wisdom. Before, as usual, before we connect to the wisdom of thinking and destiny, let us connect to the consciousness of Harold W. Percival and let the wisdom flow through his conscious through me to every one of us. Please sit in a meditative posture, cross your legs, clasp your hands, and close your eyes. Please observe your soft, tranquil breath. Fill in your lungs completely. Focus on your breath. Percival is taking us through physical destiny. We understood everything that's happening to our body, to our mind. We are experiencing in this temporary world is all physical destiny. Nothing is a coincidence. Nothing is an accident. Everything came from our thoughts. If not this lifetime, maybe some other lifetime. It took time to exteriorize our thoughts into physical destiny. So friends, we need to make conscious effort in making each and every thought that we make. We have to be consciously aware all the times. If it is not thinking, it could be a destiny of our past acts that we did. Every action has equal and opposite reaction on us. Newton's law holds good everywhere. What you give, you get back in the same capacity. We also learned about individual destiny, how it happened. Whenever we do any task that's good, same thing comes in the double speed to us. Similarly, if you do any task bad, we have to face the consequences in this lifetime itself. If you miss, that will change you to the next lifetime. Percival is teaching us every act that we do, every thought we think, every word we spoke are very important in each and everyone's life because they are the one which is making a future. Let's be positive, speak only positive words. Think only positive about anyone in this world and do only good deeds. With this, we can write our destiny the way we want to enjoy. Please rub your palms and place it on your eyes for a few seconds. And slowly open your eyes with a beautiful smile on your face, ready to dwell in the wisdom that Percival is going to give to us.
Thank you, Prasanna. Thank you for that short meditation. Namaste, everyone. I am Deepika, your host for today. Humble pranams to our beloved Guru, Brahma Shishya Patriji and Swarnamala Patri ma'am. Welcome to another session of Thinking on Destiny book club organized by PMC USA. Let us look at the recap of last week. The topics we covered were money and group destiny, the various probable reasons for possession of wealth, sudden reversals, what poverty causes for poverty, how one becomes a miser, and such other aspects of money we covered. Then the possession or lack of money create 1001 reasons, one conditions through which the ways of destiny are led. Money is one of the smallest requirements. The less one needs, the more independent one is. Money is to meet the basic needs of food, shelter, and clothing. We learned that money cannot buy health, honor, self respect, love, nor life, or independence, or ease, or knowledge, and such other things. Also, we learned that when one is born to wealthy parents, it's not an accident of wealth or an inheritance by birth, but he has earned it by his thought and actions. Then the other topic was group destiny. So, what is group destiny? It's a destiny that affects a certain number of people. Their thoughts have made the destiny for them. How people are born into different races or nations, what brings them together. We saw all these things. Then the rise or a fall of a nation is due to a particular thought, which becomes a national thought. Then let us move to today's topic, the government of the world. Prasanna Garu, please take over for today's topic. Thank you.
Thank you, Deepika, for a quick recap of what we have learned in the physical destiny. Now, today we will conclude the physical destiny. I'll try to, if it is possible. So before we go into the next one, so we talk about what is this government of the world. We know that there is a government for every country, for every state, and there is so much state is controlling with the different departments and all the things, right? State and country, all the things. So when we are saying that this world is governed by something, who is governing this? Is there any government for this world? And how these destinies of this individual or the community or the country or the nation, country, world, how this actually administered? If administered, who is administering this world? That we will get to know. Maybe in some of the meditation sessions, you must have heard that, okay, we are inviting the people from Galactic Foundation, we are inviting the people from the higher world, so many things we must have heard. Well, all these things could be, they are all the part of the government of the world, where actually the world is being governed. But who is doing it? That we'll get to see. The destinies. So how these destinies means how this government is actually governing the individual destiny as well as the group destiny or the nation destiny or the one particular community destiny. How there are so many mysterious problems, and one may be colliding the others. How this can be resolved and how they can be actually destined. So that we will see. And also, what is this law? If they are governing, what is this? All these mysterious problems were governed by what law? What exactly it is? So that factor, that those events, is there any necessary that they need to be changed? If it is necessary, who is going to be changed? All this we will see today. As nature is governed by the law. So what is that law? Which law that the nature is governed by? So the nature's law, right? Suppose one particular, so the sun is governed by, like, it has to rotate and the things. So everything was governed by nature's law only. As a nature is governed by the law, so yes, all mankind and human relations, are also governed by the law. So who is actually gave these laws to the human relations, or who gave these laws to, by any chance, who is that God who has given? So if you see that, who is God, who constituted this law, who did that one? What is the law that it is? Who is the authorities of the law? Who administered this law? By whom these laws are administered? What is justice? Is this law is just? Is this is going to be changed? How these are all administered? For all these questions, is there is a government, and that government is not in this changing world. Whatever that you and me are seeing with our naked eyes is the changing world. So whatever the law that is actually operating, that law is not in this changing world. The law is there in the realm of permanence. It's a permanence. That's what we are saying, right? We all will go to that realm of permanence. So once we become the triune cells or anything, right? So this particular law, this particular thing, government, is there in the law of permanence. So realm of permanence and realm of permanence pervades the world of change. It cannot be seen by the mortal eyes. You and me cannot see this realm of permanence with our mortal eyes. So we think this, as we are thinking this body is the mortal. So with the mortal eyes, we are not able to see this realm of permanence where it is. Then who can see it? Who can see this government? So this government can be seen by a complete triune self. So that is what, at the end of this book, that is what actually we are trying to tell. How a doer portion can go from doer to the thinker, and how a thinker can think of, and then he can go from the thinker to the knower. Once a soul has reached to the doer to thinker to a knower, then you yourself, means whoever is actually there, the knower itself is a complete triune self. When he himself is a triune self, because he know what is right, what is just, he can judge by himself, or he can do whatever the justice that one particular triune self has passed on will be agreed by the everyone, because every triune self has the same knowledge, which is the truth. So once you go to that, these are the triune self. Once a particular soul has become a triune self, a complete triune self, those triune selves are governed, or they will be there in the government of the world. So they are the government is run by their conscious light, their conscious light. What is their conscious light? Knowers. What is the knower? It's a truth. So the truth, ultimate truth, which is endowed by their intelligence under some supreme intelligence. For all these things, is under some supreme intelligence. Those people, those complete triune selves are there in the government of the world. Law is the prescription of the performance. So the law, everywhere it is the same. It's a prescription of our performance made by your thoughts and acts of its maker, of makers. So who is again making? It is all that we, suppose in our society, we made some norms. This is the norm. This is the right. This is not right. Who made that? Because as a people, we made ourselves that, okay, these are the things, we made our norms. We are changing, we are forming the norms. Here, in this particular world, the world of governance, who is making? The law is making by the makers. Again, the portion, the doers, the thinkers, or the knowers, right? They are the one who is making the noise. But only thing is, here the law may change from US to India to UK to Europe, something else, because each country has their own laws. But here what he is saying is, once you become the complete triune self, the law, whatever that is there, is common for everyone. Because once you become a triune self, everybody is having the same, tapping the same knowledge. That is the truth. The truth was tapping from the supreme intelligence. So when you are tapping the same intelligence is there with everyone. The same thing is going to go for all the things. So it is the same law will applicable to the everyone. This is, the human is made by thinking, because we are all thinking. So this is okay for this particular state. This is the law. Yeah, if you go to the law, the judgments or anything according to the law of such and such a country or such and such a state, you say this is what the judgment, or this is what is right, or this is what it is wrong. But here in this law in this law of permanence, what they are saying is everyone is, the law is thinking by the triune selves, and the triune selves are the knowledge is tapping from the super intelligence, supreme intelligence. That supreme intelligence gives the same knowledge to the all. So once one triune self decided this is right, the same thought or the same thing will go to the all others. It will not be the different. It will not be different from person to person, or it will not be different from triune self to triune self, or it won't be different from the country to country or so. It is the same thing. The human beings are bound by the verbal or written contracts. That's what we do it generally, right? So here in this world, changing world, we are bound by the verbal contract or written contract. Then later, our thoughts exteriorize as a physical destiny to those concerned. So first, initially, we start, these are the laws, and we will bond, then the thoughts. So some may, okay, now because we have written a contract, we have the bond, we may bind to it, or we may think that how to break it. So this is the law break thinking, right? So if that law is not actually comfortable to you, then you may think how to break it and how to escape from that particular thing. So this is all exteriorizations. Once the law was made, again, human being is thinking and breaking. But here, if you see that in the realm of permanence, the authority of the knowledge, how that authority of the law will come, that will come from the self-knowledge, who you are. So that self-knowledge is nothing but the triune self. So that self-knowledge of the triune self is real, and it won't change. So here the laws won't change. In the realm of permanence, the laws will not change. They are real and unchanging of self-conscious being. Which includes the law of nature. They also include the law of nature. That authority of the law is inexhaustible and immeasurable. This law was not exhausted, or this law was not measured by anything, because this is the ultimate truth. Once available to the knowers and thinkers as their triune self, that is related, and that is the same, and that is coordinated as a whole. There are 10 triune selves in this realm of permanence. All the 10 triune selves will get the knowledge from the same place. So when they are getting the same place, I'm giving you again and again, when they are getting that knowledge from the same place, same knowledge will be understood. Suppose you and me are reading the same book with Thinking and Destiny, let us take. You are understanding one way and I am understanding one way, because we are not the complete triune selves. We are still in the doer portion, or maybe because we are able to read that book, we are just go into the one more direction, one more step up, and we are in the thinking portion. But our aim or our goal is, by the end of this book, at least we will become the knower portion of it. We all understand like what actually the self-knowledge is. So once that self-knowledge, once we all become the same thing, right? So what will happen? We are all as a one whole only. We are all come from the same supreme intelligence. So we are all as one whole. So then we will not be having any issues. So we will be having only one knowledge we'll be getting. Justice is the same for everything, because the knowledge is same. The same knowledge, same subject we are judging. This judgment determines whatever the determines are administrated, is prescribed by the law, and the law is same for all the triune selves. The human is judged by a knowledge of his own knower. So that is what he is saying. In the permanent law of permanence, the human being is judged by, he is not judged by somebody else. He is judged by the knowledge of his own knower. So you are, that knowledge is there within you, and you are being judged by your own knowledge. So the other person, you are not judging the other person, you are judging yourself. The judgment is administered by the doer's own thinker. So the doer's own thinker. So here, see, we are not the alone. From the beginning, I'm saying we are not alone. We are the three people: doer, thinker, and knower. So the doer is the one which are running after the senses. I may want to have something, I may want to eat something, I want to go there, I want to spend time with someone. This is all the doer portion, which I wanted to do it. My senses are going after that. There is a thinker portion, which I always think, is it a right thing? The next thing, is it a right thing? Is it justifiable? So you may not. So when other person is asking, you may say that no, what I'm doing is right, because we always want to, because being a human beings, we always want to justify what we are doing is right. But if you see the thinker portion, you yourself, your self-conscious knows what you are doing is right or wrong. Nobody can judge you, need not judge, you know. And once you go to the knower portion, nobody need not tell you. You clearly understand that what you are doing is right, what you are doing is wrong. You very pretty clear it is to you. So same thing here, what they're saying is, once you go to that particular knower portion, that you are not judged by somebody else, you are judged by your own knower. So when you are judged by your own knower, that is what I always say, when we leave the body, we go to that next state. When you go to the next state, you are the pure soul. When you are the pure soul, no one can come and say that, oh, Prasanna, you did this wrong, oh, Sarisha, you did this wrong, this is what you should do it. No, nobody need not tell us, because when you are seeing as a pure soul, as a soul that you went into the body, you will get to know, okay, these are the points I did right, these are the points I did wrong. So you will clearly know that. So when you yourself are judging, right, so that is where the government, so in that government, you yourself are judging yourself. So then nobody else is judging, then there's nothing like it can go wrong. Okay, that is what he is saying. Clearly, he is saying you are determined by your own, you are judged by the knower of your own self. That the human relations and communities and the nations are exteriorized by the human beings themselves, operated by the doers in their bodies, directed by thinkers as judges of their doers, by the knowledge of knowers of the humans, and arranged and ordered by the government of world. So how in the nation it is happening? In the nation is nothing but a group of people, right? So group of people are group of human beings. How these group of human beings are being think, how these people are thinking, are they thinking alike, are they all wanted to progress as a nation as a whole, are they thinking? So depends on the doer portion and the knowledge in their thinker portion, then the country destiny will depend on. So that's what I told you an example. There are so many dynasties that we have seen, the Mughal dynasty or the Chola dynasty, so many dynasties we have been reading in our Indian history, but nothing is there now. They were all vanished, because there are not enough people at that point in time who can think that I want to make this country, make this dynasty remains. So I want to fight for this dynasty. I wanted to preserve this dynasty. That kind of people, not many people are there. When not many people are thinking alike, that will collapse. That's what we learned. So here also now, okay, those dynasties or those kingdoms were gone. Now even our country. So suppose we say that in some point in time UK ruled, some point in time US is ruling. So as long as some of the people in that country think that, we wanted to make our country great. So we wanted to think in that direction and we want to do it. So when many souls or many human beings are thinking in that particular direction, the country destiny will depend. Suppose if no one is thinking, let us take India, let us take India if you take, right? So we all, if you, in some days, in the back end days, so many people want to preserve those Vedas. Many people want to learn all the scriptures. They wanted to have it. So in the very old days, they don't even have the scripts. They just chanted, they learned, they memorized, and they wanted to pass on to the next generation. So likewise, the thing going on for many number of years. But later at one point, there is a thought came that I may not remember. This is all the thought, right? So as long as you feel that I can remember, I can do that, then you might have remembered. But there is a thought came that I may not remember. So when that point in time, they started writing the scripts. So they started writing the script, and scripts were passed on. But at one point, whatever the rule British rule comes, or whatever it comes, so people stopped reading all the scriptures. When people stopped all the reading scriptures, what happened? Because there are not enough people who wanted to preserve those things. So when there is not enough people who wanted to preserve, those things were gone, or those things were given very less importance. There are more people who wanted to think the Western culture, Western way, then they're actually transforming to that kind of culture. So similarly, anything, any country destiny or a community destiny depends on number of people or number of human beings whose thoughts are aligning to the same goal. If their thoughts are not aligning to the same goal, then that particular community may get vanished, or that particular goal may get vanished, or even the country may get vanished. That's what he is saying. Suppose if you say, we are rarely seeing the red Indians in America. So these are all like gone. Very, very few places you can see, because there are not enough people who can fight that this is our country, their thoughts were not aligned. So the other people came and they said, this is our country, and they started rolling it up. And it's because there are not enough people there are enough people who wanted to rule this country than this, who are the native Indians of this America. So similarly, any case, even if you think of in your family, in your own thing, as long as you think that I want to achieve something, I wanted to do this, I want to do this, as long as you are thinking, as long as you're giving energy to a thought, then only you are actually growing up. The one moment you thought that, okay, it's enough, I'm happy, whatever I have it. The moment you start, your growth was stopped. You don't go anywhere, because you may be happy. If that is an ultimate thing, you may be happy. You may be, but you feel that stagnation in your life. So because you don't, not enough strength you are giving to that particular thought. So that is the individual thing. For the country thing, number of souls, number of people who are having the same kind of thing, that only will happen. The law also, the number of people who agreed, that will become the law. But in the case of realm of permanence, whatever that knower in the body, that is whatever he thinks, that is the law. Therefore, all the functions of the nature is always the constant. Nature functions are always constant. They cannot act or perform any functions on their own. Nature functions, when the tree comes, its function is constant. The tree will come, it grow, it gives you the fruits, it gives you whatever. Then after its certain time, it is gone. After the season is gone, it is gone. So that is a nature function. It is coming for a purpose and it's going. It is that there is nothing that it can think on its own. So this is the nature's law, and it is constant, and it is a dependable. It is a very constant and it's a dependable thing. Suppose if you remember the balanced unit. So we have remembered there is a balanced unit in the last thing. There is a one circle. One is the half part is unmanifested palm, and the bottom part is, if you see that it's a passive part and active part. Let me try to show you. Let me show you here. Share content. Are you able to see a balanced unit, how it looks like here? Figure. So this is if you see, this is the unit, right? So the first part is unmanifested aspect. The second part is the manifested aspect. This is a passive side and this is an active side. All are equally distributed. So this is a perfect body. So when you are having this perfect body, this is a perfect passive side and perfect active side. These are the people who can go with the body, who can be in the realm of permanence. These people are thinking that they can just balance everything in their body, in everything in their thoughts. These are the complete triune selves. Complete triune selves will be like this, a perfect balanced self. So I just wanted to show you this. Let me stop here. Stop. Okay. So these are these acts, because when you are in the perfect immortal body, when you are in the complete triune self, this is how you will be there. And once those the cases, you will be there with the body in the realm of permanence. So who are there? In every generation, in every thing, there are people who will be going or who will be balancing their bodies and who will be there in the realm of permanence. Once they achieved all the things, once they have experienced all the life, they can go. Suppose in our case, we can see that Mahavtar Babaji, you never know, like he is still there, and he is not, he is seen in the visible eyes, but he is the but you can feel his energies. You can meditate on him, you can see him, you can feel all his energies, and everybody can experience things whenever you are meditating on his energy, right? And even on at his cave, so many stories we are listening. So these people never left the bodies. They never, so they did not think that body is mortal. They thought body is immortal. So they are able to balance their thoughts. So I just bring up the topic because we are all being meditators. We are all know that who is he and what, how we can feel his energies, right? So these are the people who believe that we can, with the body or with the body, we can balance our thoughts and we can go to the government of the world, or which is there in the realm of permanence. From here, a perfect body, with the perfect body, they can constitute the government, and they are, but are they will be forever in that body? No. Some point in time they will leave that body. Even they will be, whenever they qualified to live, whenever they feel that they have done enough, so they qualify to leave, then they will just go into the next. Okay, for each degree, then they qualify to leave, then they go to the each degree, to next higher degree they will go, and the next higher degree they will go, and university mission, in the university mission they will go. Each degree they will progress, and they will go to the this is the law of nature. Each and every degree they have to progress. So that is why all the nature units first, and they will go beyond the nature, then they will go to the AIA units, and once the AIA units, then they will go to the intelligent units. So that's how all the things are going up. So once they finish that course, right, unintelligent unit, unintelligent nature units, they are ready to advance beyond the nature. So and suppose in the nature units, whenever they are there, they are unintelligent. They will do just whatever they are supposed to do it. I have given this duty, they will do it, and they will go. So once they were once they were beyond that particular nature, they are want to become that intelligent self, triune self unit, right? So when they wanted to go beyond the nature, they will go to the AIA unit. That's what we said. Nature units, AIA unit, which is the transition type. So once from the AIA unit, it will rise to the degree, and they will go to the triune self unit. Then the triune self unit as a complete triune self, they can go. The training, this is a part of the training. So from nature units to the AIA to the triune self with the perfect body, which has been educated. So this is a chain. This is a chain of units. Chain of things. The conscious is binding, progressively binding. It won't degree, progressively binding to the higher degrees. Like we are going from LKG to the UKG to the first grade, third grade, so on. So here also, your conscious is going from unintelligent unit to the nature units, to the beyond nature units, to the AIA unit, and from AIA unit, it is going to the intelligent unit. This progression is unbroken. The human soul is progressing from one by one, and from one to the another, it is always keep going. Okay, the triune self. Here again, we insist because we already know this triune self, what it is. The triune self is an individual unit. Okay, who is the knower portion? Anybody can tell. There are three portions, right? Knower, thinker, and doer. Okay, what is the first thing? Let us take the knower portion. Can anybody type? I just wanted to understand how much you remember. How much you remember? I-ness. The knower portion is I-ness, or selfness, or identity, or the knowledge. This is the knower portion. Knower portion is I-ness and selfness. Selfness is not selfishness. Selfness is like knowing who you are. That I-ness portion will come into the knower portion. That is identity of the knowledge. That I-ness or a selfness is a identity of the knowledge. That is the actual truth that you are knowing, right? That is the triune self. That is the knower portion of your triune self. Okay. Next portion. Next, anybody remember? Next one, what is that? The second one, it is a thinker portion. What is the thinker portion the triune self indicates? Righteousness and the reasoning. It is always wants to, whether it's a right or not. If it is right, what's the reasoning? Righteousness and reasoning, law and justice comes into the thinker portion. So when we are in the thinking portion, not mere doing, then we always want to, is it a right? Can I do this? What is the law behind it? So all the things will come into that. So that is a righteousness and reasoning portion. Yes. Yes, Palagaru, you are right. And what is the third one? That's a doer portion. Doer portion is depending on which one? Anyone? Because I have been telling this long time. Senses, yeah, senses. So senses means what is that? I just gave you one compound word for it. Feeling and desire. Senses only. Yeah, it's a feeling and desire. Beauty and power. Yes, desire and feeling. That's right. Balagad. As doer of the triune self. So here doer is beauty and power, or it is a feeling and desire portion. Thinker is reasoning and righteous, law and justice. Knower is I-ness and selfness, which is the identity of the knowledge. So these are the three things which we have to remember. By coming to this class, we have to, every time we have to remember, we have to check, are we in the doer portion, are we in the thinker portion, when shall we go to the knower portion? These are the things which we have to check ourselves. Okay. The knower is the authority of the knowledge. Once you are in the knower portion, you are the authority of the knowledge. Thinker as a justice in relationship. Whatever the subject is judged, complete, perfect, because whatever you are judging, that you feel that you are complete, perfect. But the doer is the operator of the body, right? Doer is our operator of the body, must prove its ability to manage and maintain its perfect body whose functions are law of nature. So doer, whenever you are in the doer portion, you always prove yourself that you are balancing and you are not harming the law of nature. You are actually following the law of nature. So that is why we say ahimsa paramo dharma. In this earth, every creature came like us. Okay, every creature has a right to live. Agree? So when every creature in this world has a right to live, if you are killing, that is why ahimsa paramo dharma. If you are killing, actually, you are not following the law of nature. It has a right to live. You have a right to live. If you are killing, then you are doing something wrong. You are not balancing your unit. You are not balancing your body. That's what he is saying. So though you came to the breath unit of the perfect body, but when these units were not actually in a balance, what will happen? This triune self, in the triune self, the doer portion is not actually balancing. So when the doer portion is not balancing, what will happen? Again and again, you have to come to the doer portion and you have to balance until all your things were done. Until your balance sheet is zero, you have to come again and again. Knowing that there are two things. If you don't know and you did something, that is different thing. But now you know it. Once you know it also, if you are doing the same thing, then you will be taken, because you will be given that more serious action. So you have to take that again. And because after knowing, after somebody taught you, or after your consciousness is saying that, oh no, whatever you're doing is wrong, even then you are going along with your senses, then it is a problem. That's what he is saying. So then you are not actually balancing your unit. Although you are saying that, okay, there are so many people will say, right, oh, if you are not killing, if you say that you don't kill the animals and don't do that, then how do you get the protein? Oh, my son is doing that sports, he need that protein. Or I am doing something, he need that protein. There are so many things that the protein can, there are so many nature units that protein, we can get the protein. So you have to think that way, instead of thinking, if you are trying to justice yourself by going to your senses. This is all, you are going to your senses and you are trying to justify your thoughts. If you, after knowing also, you are trying to cheat yourself, then that's where you have to learn the lesson very hard. That's what he is saying. You have to, feeling and desire, if you are not equalizing, if you are not balancing your thoughts, then you have to leave the realm of permanence also. What he is saying, not only now, when the body, when you went to that realm of permanence also, if you are not able to balance your thoughts, then you have to leave the realm of permanence. We have seen the story in the beginning itself, Jaya and Vijaya. The story, that untold stories of Sita, that we get it right. So though Jaya and Vijaya, they were there in the realm of permanence, but with the feelings of jealous. The feeling of jealous is the one which they were not able to balance their units. When they were not balanced their units, so with that jealous or with that kind of things, they cannot stay in the realm of permanence. If your body was not balanced unit, then you cannot stay there. You have to come back. So they came and they took 3 different lifetimes, and they learned so many things in this earth planet, and then only they are able to go to the again back to the realm of permanence once they balanced their things. So that is why, if you are not balancing your emotions, if you are not doing any these things, you cannot, there is no way that you can move out of doer to the thinker. So first we have to learn how to balance our things and how to balance our feeling and desires in a balanced union. Then only you can trial test, then you can pass. Here, suppose that even the trial test is trial test of the sexes also. Suppose if you see as a woman, oh, I am a girl, I cannot do that. Or I am a man, I can do that. Man should be doing this only, because you are showing that, because every person is having the same, that you are having your muscular energy as well as feminine energy. When you are balancing those 2 things, that feeling and desire portion, when you are balancing it, balanced union, then only you can move to the other. Otherwise, active passive of a man and passive active of a woman, right? That is what both the bodies it will be having. So when you are balancing, when they ceased to their conscious thinkers and knowers, then only you will be entering with the realm of permanence. So all these things should be balanced while you are doing it. Doer is not conscious, but however, if you are in the doer portion, doer is not conscious of their presence. Doer is always going with the senses only, even though he doesn't know that there is a realm of permanence is existing, and there, once when you go there, then you may not able to, you may have to, all the consequences you have to face, all the thing he doesn't know. What he knows is, man has only one life, let's enjoy this life. There is nothing, there's no life after the death or nothing. So just, so if you think, just give it. So when we are all coming from the same supreme intelligence, why some people are living very luxuriously, when some people are actually having a hard time in getting the errands also? Why? If you actually start thinking, if you invoke your thinker portion of you, then you will be able to know that all this karma siddhantam, all the things you'll get to know that. But if you are not actually thinker portion also, mere doer portion, what will happen? You will just go after senses. Whatever you feel like doing it, you will do it. Whatever you feel like enjoying, you'll enjoy. That's where you struck. That's what here is. That's what here is. The doer in the body does not know what it is, because he doesn't know what all these things. So whatever the things he says, he will just do 24 hours a day. He'll go after the senses. The body mind controls the minds of the body mind. When you are in the body mind nature, the body mind controls the minds of feeling and desire. It is always controlling your feeling and desire. The body mind can think only about these things in the senses. So it binds you into the feeling and desire and nature through senses. But what you have to understand is the doer is immortal. You are thinking the doer is mortal. Once the body dies, you are dying, done. But the doer in your body is immortal. Although the body is mortal, the doer in your body is immortal. It cannot cease to be. So you have, once you understood that, okay, now in this body, if I do something, I may have to face with some other body, if not now. We may be thinking that, oh, I'm just getting along this life. No. We may have to face. Once you got that knowledge, that self-knowledge, right, then you will not do any mistakes. That's what he is saying. It will not, the body in this is become independent. Once you become that you are immortal, you will become independent. You will become responsible. The conscious itself will become responsible as itself in the body. Is a conscious is a relationship with the thinker and knower. Then you try to think, you try to attach yourself to the knower. So then you are going beyond your body. You are not just going, you're going away with your body. You are going beyond you. The way the conscious is immortality. Now you are saying that conscious is not mortal, it is an immortal. So we have to think what is happening to us. By thinking like this, the doer in everybody, you, your body, my body, everybody creates some thoughts. What is happening? What will happen after my death? So we all started creating the thoughts. These thoughts will have own prescriptions. I have my own prescription. I will get my own knowledge. When I'm actually contemplating, you will have your own knowledge. So whenever that right condition, place, and time, it will come, right? Because the author, when he's crossing the 12th street of the New York, he got, that is the place that he got it. And he got awakening. He saw that there are 1,000 suns actually came at one place, and he started that much light. He's wondering from where this light is coming from. That's where his his point of awakening started. From where this light is coming, he saw everything is within him, and he is within everything. So where? That is what actually awakening is, right? So once that, then he started contemplating, he started doing meditation, he started reading theosophical books, all the things. Those are, for 30 long years he contemplated to write this book, whatever that we are actually learning. He took 30 years of meditation, 30 years of his contemplation. Then he started, while closing his eyes, whatever that it is coming, the knowledge from the knower portion, whatever it is coming, he just started dictating, because he find it very hard, because when you are writing and thinking at the same time, he's not able to do it. So he started dictating, and that's how he came. This book came into us, and we are all able to read this one. So when Percival is able to get it, why not you and me? You can get it. I can get it, definitely. That is the reason. If you actually think beyond, Percival has written this book for 30 years. But you and me, if we want to read, if we want to do it, we can read this book, contemplate this book, understand this book in at least 3 years. So what is it? So when he is taking 30 years, we can understand this in 3 years. If we can go from that particular, I can do it kind of thing. So initially, even I thought, when he has written 30 years book, where in the world I can teach this book? So that is the thing, that is the doer portion. That is the doer portion within me saying that you cannot do it. You can do it, you cannot do it, is the doer portion. Go beyond that. Go beyond that. When Percival is having that same kind of knowledge, you will also have the same kind of knowledge. When he can write, why can't you understand? Because you also came from the same supreme intelligence. When you also came from same supreme intelligence, why can't you understand? Yes, I can understand. Once you started that thinking, once you surrender yourself, or once you started thinking in a different direction, of course you can do it. That is what we are all doing it. So this is our destiny. This is all our destiny. Our destiny is to understand this book, to contemplate about this book. We are all in the social intercourse. Same thing. Thinking and we are establishing the human thinking and establishing the human relationships. But here the thinkers and knowers are individual doers. You are individual doer and I am individual doer in the human bodies and having the real knowledge. Now we are having that real knowledge. We are contemplating. We are trying to understand that real knowledge. When there are so many people in this world are having the same kind of knowledge, same kind of thoughts, the world will change. That's why always say, if there are so many meditators, so many people are doing it, we can change the world. As he say that if same thoughts are there with so many human beings, we all agree that this human relationships will increase. These individuals as grow, when individuals will grow, as a community will grow, and the communities will grow, the nations will grow. And that's what this is happening. The government of this world and the destinies of the nation starts concerning the government of oneself related to the others. So how this government, because this is nations and government is actually governed by some other race. So each doer has its own open court, what he is doing, holding an open court, his impressions, his thoughts, his attentions, all the things. One should listen to his voice, his conscience, consider the advice for the reason, because if everyone is having its own things. So you are in the judgment seat. Your doer is there, thinker is there, knower is there. The knower is there in the judgment seat. The proceedings are carried out. not by somebody else. The proceedings are carried out by yourself, and your knower is there in the judgment seat of your human heart. Not somebody else is judging you. Your knower is there in your heart, and he is judging in the court of your own atmosphere. Remember that. Nobody is saying. That is why people will say, go and ask your self-consciousness. Go and ask yourself whether you are doing it right or not. Have you not heard these sentences? What is that going and asking by yourself? You are going as a doer, you are going and asking your knower whether I am doing is right or not. So that is what the asking the self-consciousness, that which the one doer is doing. Okay. The destiny in its relations and their human beings. And while the doer is holding the open court, its ever-present knower and thinker is witnessing and recording its laws and its own conditions. And prescriptions are administered by the future destiny. So while the knower and the doer is doing, by doing that, so this knower portion and this thinker portion is just watching you, as witnessing you, and all writing all these, whatever the laws that they are actually writing concerning that, is because the laws are also will change, right? As you are actually passing the time to time and place to place, the laws are changing. Similarly, the laws here, when one particular generation, the thing that is right may be wrong in the next generation. So whenever this knower portion also will get changed his thing. So the knower is witnessing what this doer is doing, what this is right for this particular thing. Suppose in olden days, if you take a girl going out is not encouraged. That's a wrong, because she is supposed to take it. But now that is, if you say that that's a wrong, that doer portion, if the same thing, the doer portion sitting and thinking that no, she should be taking care, that's not right. So when the life is changing, when the things are changing, the same knower portion in the same doer will say that no, the girl going out, earning, independent, all this is right. So that is what the doer portion is saying. The same was written, the same thing was recorded as a prescription, recorded as a law by thinker and the knower. So that is what here it is saying, that conscious light is observing you. The conscious light within you is observing you. It is having that sense of impressions. It was a clear conscious light. It cannot go wrong. As a knower portion, you cannot go wrong. It was very clear. It was very clearly, it says that you are right, you are wrong. This is what it is. So there's never a doubt. They are always an agreement with the human body. Whatever the knower is saying, they always have an agreement with the human body. Okay, and the triune selves contribute. So that the triune selves is having that good knowledge at the service of all the knowers, right? Knowledgeable and knowers common to every, knowledge of the knowers is common to every knower. So the government can at once know that individual destiny of the human being. So when you are in the knower portion, you will get to know your destiny, you get to know everybody in this, because the knowledge is the same for everything. So the government of the world, agencies of the human beings are through the triune self. These are the triune self, are the agencies of the human being. A thought balanced, once your thought is balanced, according to his responsibility, conjunction of the time, condition and place, then you will be going as a triune self. And once you are in the triune self, you will be the part of that government and you will be part of that administration. Okay, the destiny of the each and every nation, right? The destiny is depends upon what individual in that nation think. If all the individuals in that nation think alike, those thoughts and will progress, and that will become the destiny, or that will become the law of that nation. So that will become the destiny. So once upon a time, just kicking off this, all the native Indians, it became so right. So that is why it became the law. That's why they got vanished, because so many people think alike in that condition. So suppose if some injustice has done to some people here, then many people say that it is not justice, then that will not be the justice, because this law or anything will depends upon how many number of people that they are thinking alike. It is the panorama of a human life. So the sectional views, right? So what are how the views, how the figures are moving out, how the events are moving out. The knower portion is sitting back, enjoying, and they actually seeing how these things are happening, and he is recording everything. So first what we have to understand is the immortal doer. compromise your feeling and desire. So you have to come out of this from the feeling and desire, and you are the immortal doer is there in your body, and move inseparably with the thinker and knower. We are going inseparably with the doer portion. We are going inseparably with the senses portion. I want that, I want this kind of thing. So go inseparably with your thinker and knower portion and determine happenings caused by his thoughts. What are the thoughts? How they are unfolding in the life. The acts, objects, and events of life are exteriorization of the thoughts. Whatever the thoughts, whatever the events that is happening in your life is just your thoughts only. Your thoughts that you have prescribed for your life only. Feeling and desire keeps the machinery of the body in action. If you don't have any feeling and desire, your machinery will not be active. Tomorrow morning, I have to get up. I have an intention that I have to do the yoga. Then I have to do the meditation. Then I have to go for the class. Then I have to cook for my family. Then I have to go for a party. Then I have to do something. So I have so many actions lined up, because these actions were lined up. Because of those actions only, we are keeping that feeling and desire is good, but we have to balance. Without that feeling and desire, you cannot. If you don't have any feeling, you will become a yogi in Himalayas. You will not be in the social environment. Once you are in the social environment, once you are in this environment, dual portion means you will have all the desire, but you should know how to balance them out. How to do the righteous portion, how to do the reasoning portion. Then only you will go to the knower portion. The thinkers of embedded doers are the real administrators. The thinkers of the embedded doers are the real administrators, because they are the one who relate those thoughts, arrange the time and condition, place and prescription of the thoughts. They are the one who is actually arranging. They are making their own destiny. Their reoccurrence is happening by the law, because human being chooses what he will think and what he will not think. Same time, he arranges them in the thinkers, like, okay, I want this, I do not want this kind of thing. This is what the government. So this is how the government forms, and this is what. So government is nothing but you are the knower portion. That is what here finally what he's concluding is, the knower in you is the government. The knower in you. So when you are complete triune self, these are the people who are actually governing from there. Then coming to that races, there are some races separately determined. So how come there's races for separately determined? Because all the races in the people in that race are actually thinking alike. That is the reason why they were separately distinguished doing it. So with this, I'll stop. As I told you, I couldn't complete physical destiny, but I'll stop for the questions, because when you are thinking here, the questions comes when everybody is thinking alike, when everybody is doing that, why all these earthquakes are coming, why all these natural calamities are coming, what is this? This is a positive. That's what he's selling. He will tell in the next session, the choice in the world. Why all the unwanted things are happening? What intelligence of the government is making it to do it? When these things will happen, that we will see in the next class. For now, I'll stop and I'll take up the questions. Deepika Garu, over to you.
Thank you, Prasanna. Yet again, another wonderful session. Dear friends, kindly unmute or raise your hands to share your thoughts.
Before asking your questions, I also need their suggestions, like, am I going any fast, or do you want me to slow down, or anything? Those suggestions also you can give. If anybody is having any suggestions that you want to have, because we are all together, we are learning, right? So we have to go in the same pace that everybody can understand. Go ahead, Deepika.
Yes, sir. Girls, looks like you're unmuted. You can talk.
Absolute silence. How do you understand? Yeah, somebody, Satyanarayan.
Satyanarayan, you can talk.
Hi. Well, actually, this is my first session, actually. Well, I just wanted to tell one thing actually, because I was in this meditation from the past almost like 2 years, I can say. Yeah. And then I keep reading the books and all those. And just kind of like content in this particular book. So till now, whatever the books I have read, I usually read in 3 to 4 days. And I feel like kind of, I got the essence and all. But this is the first book I felt like kind of very hard actually. I can't even go further. Like I didn't even think of that. Do here, think of what he's really trying to say. And that's then I just kind of think like, so did anybody really understand this book? And then just got this kind of, I was a kind of a meditator, I'm like in this PSSM group and all. I have seen you actually. Once I read this book, I have seen like when on that WhatsApp group, you have posted like every week this link, right? So I just, last week only I have seen that one, I attended today.
Nice.
The one that
So
you
you
say like kind of
manifested.
aligned or whatever.
You manifested because if you see, right, the nature, you wanted it, and you are able to get the link. That's how it is happening, not only to you, everyone, even for me. Like, well, I shared my experiences in the previous sessions also. Whenever I was struck, it is the same struggle for you as well as for me, Satyanarayan Garu. So whenever this book is not easy book to understand, just like that, as you said. But nature, like whatever, when you are in the thinker portion, because the knower also, because knower portion also is looking for some people like us. Oh, some people want to learn us, so try to help them, right? So they will also help. Perfect
That's I was
example.
kind of really I felt like even I that after almost like I read like 30-40 pages and all, like I felt like, did anybody that even immediately I found that, right? So I feel that was very, very happy. Thank
That's
you. Thanks a
nice.
lot. Thanks very much.
Prasanna, I don't know. I have this question about the war, like Ukraine war, which is going on. So I'm just thinking, but is this like a lot of people think Ukraine is on the right side, and then so I mean, so this question will be answering in the next session, something like this.
No, we discuss some portion, or we can as well discuss now as well, because
Okay.
there are two things, right? One is lot of people, when lot of people is actually supporting the Ukraine is the right way, because there are enough souls that think Ukraine is the right way, then it can win. It can
Yeah.
win. Okay. The other thing is why the other people are suffering unnecessary, because of the one person thought. Why the other person, that the other people has to suffer? Even the Russians, they don't want to have it, right? That kind of thing. They themselves are very much against it, but still they are suffering. The reason is again the destiny, right? The group destiny that we talked about last class. So group destiny, there are souls which has to, because they have done something wrong in their past lives, and they all have to go through common thing.
Okay.
When they all have to, they will all come at one point. So they all may be coming at one point and they are suffering. Suppose out of 100 people, there is a 1 or 2 souls which does not want to
count,
then they definitely come out. But some way or the other. The example I told you about WTC towers also, right? There are how it happened. There are people who are supposed to go at that time into that building, they didn't go. There are people who never go early to the office, but that day they went.
The World Trade
because
Center.
This is all group, World Trade Center. So this is all the destiny, group destiny. So same thing is happening there as well. Suppose if there are not enough people, enough souls that Ukraine is right and they support it, then it will defeat, obviously.
Okay.
Because that's what happened to our Mughal dynasty or Chola dynasty or any dynasties, right? Not enough people to support. So they were all disappeared. Same thing might happen.
Okay.
Yeah,
you always bring up a good points to discuss. Thank you.
Yeah, we can even relate the same with Holocaust. Whatever that Hitler time. So the group.
Yes. Exactly.
Thank you, Prasanna. Wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you all for coming and listening. Anybody, any comments,